Hey there, fashion freaks. Welcome to this week's style vlog. I'm Sam.
Hey, I'm Christian.
And this week we're going to mix things up a little bit and we're going to do a little DIY, something that you guys can do at home. And we are going to make bows, in particular bow ties that you can wear under your collared shirts.
Yeah.
So,
okay. Well, this is the fabric that we've chosen. Two different fabrics actually to give you like a different idea of different looks. One thing that we really wanted to do is show that even like with your store-bought items, you can always add your own flair by choosing different ways to dress it up. So this is a fabric that Sam just had at home, but then also this is a fabric from clothing that she decided she wanted to use in a different way. So whether you go buy fabric or you choose something out of your closet, you can have fun with it.
exactly. So the one that Christian has, it came in a strip that was like, it was just long. So what I did to measure it out is you want to figure out how big you want your bow to be. In this case, we want it to be, you know, a bow tie sized.
Right.
And
So, and it depends on how you fold it and what goes on, but you can decide, you know, for yourself what's big enough for you in the outfit that you're wearing.
yep. And then with this one, this material is definitely a lot lighter. So what I did is I cut a rectangle that I knew that this length, this is how big I wanted the bow to be. And then what I'll do is I'll double it up and then sew where the two edges meet so that it's a little bit more sturdy. So
Okay. So for this project, what is everything that they'll need to do this?
So what you'll need is you'll need some sort of material that you want to make the bow out of, so that you can cut it into a size big enough, plus a strip that'll go around the center of the bow just so you can finish it so it looks like an actual tied bow, thread, needles, another, if you want to make a bow tie, just a piece of any kind of material that will fit around your neck, and then buttons, so that when you finish it, you can add a little hole to button it when you put it on, so it's easy to take on and off. So first, you want to cut enough thread so that you know you can at least get through one part of the bow making. Then just put it in the needle and then tie the ends with enough slack at the end so that if you need to come back and tie it, that there's enough at the end that you can tie it with. Alright, so to start, with that one you don't really need to double it up in the way that you would need to this one. So first what I'll do is the two ends, if you hold it lengthwise, fold the two ends over like that, and then if you sew the edges together, then it'll look neater once you fold the bow, and this will be where that seam is. It'll be the back of the bow. Alright, so for this one we cut a square about this big from the piece that we had that was just a little bit longer, because lengthwise it was long enough. So all you need to do is you just kind of start to fold it over itself like that, so it's pinched in the middle. There you go.
And then where you decide to pinch it in the middle is exactly like where you're gonna take, once we get this secured, it's where you're gonna take this and go around with it. So you wanna make sure that this piece is long enough and wide enough that it covers that area.
So if you even just one stitch, just up and through, you don't have to worry about the tail because it will be hidden, and just wrap it around once. That'll hold it in place while you put the middle piece of fabric around. So it's just it'll just stay like that. It's a lot easier than trying to hold it. So I finished sewing the first part of this, so you have like a little tube. And what you'll do is you put the seam that you just made at the back, or that'll be the back, and then you just fold it and cinch it the same way you did the other one. I see it's a little floppier. And then you have your strip ready, and you'll put it over and sew it there.
And I've completed sewing on my strip to cinch this together. So basically what we did is, so when we held it together, we sewed it a little bit, we took our strip to come around, and then I just went around the back and sewed the strip closed. So when you're cutting fabric, you'll have a few loose ends, so I'm just going to clean the bow up a little bit and get rid of those loose ends.
Okay, so we both have our bows finished, and we're gonna take this one to make the bow tie out of. So what you'll do is you'll just strip of any material, and then string it through the back. And then try to just get it in there so that when you look at the bow from the front, you don't see that material. And then when it's under a collar, that material won't show. So then you need to figure out how long you need this to be. So we'll have you measure that out.
Measure it. Just to give you a look at how it'll look on a shirt. I wore a collar just for you guys. And so
okay. Alright. So if that's where she wants it to close, don't cut it there, because then you'll have to move the button down. This is where you want them to be. So I can just take these pins and mark it. So then cut a little bit. Behind that. And then what you'll do is you'll pick a button. Doesn't have to be anything fancy, just a small little button. A little one like this. And when you cut your hole for the button, you want to make sure it's just a little bit bigger than how big the button is, so that the button slips on easily, but not too easily so that it'll fall off. So I want you to have your hole. All you have to do is sew on the button on the other side where you marked it, and then your bow tie will be all done. Once you go around the button a couple times, just tie it off, and then trim the thread. And you have a bow. So as you can see, all done. Looking real cute.
Yes, definitely. And then we have other options for if you don't want to do a bow tie, or if you do a bow tie and you decide to slip your collar piece out, there are other things you can do with your bow.
Yep, you could just add a bobby pin to it and put it in your hair, and you can make big bows for that, really little bows, and put a bunch of them. You could also put a chain through the back like you did that, and wear it more as a necklace instead of under a collared shirt. So you can,
bracelets.
Yep, bracelets. All sorts of things you can do with bows. So.
Very cool. So we hope that we gave you some do-it-yourself inspiration. Thanks for checking in with us. Like we said, I'm Christian.
And I'm Sancy.
So have a good weekend, fashion freaks.
And until our next vlog, we'll see you then.